Hello YouTube fans, Madarant here, and welcome to a deck profile with Blue Eyes. So this is the modified deck I've been playing over 2 weeks now on the channel and try to gain some consistency in the deck. Although it is a very good deck and it's a very fun deck to play, it does have consistency issues. Like always, when Konami tries to support an old deck, it's gonna have consistency issues because it's using normal monsters, or because it's supporting something so old that's gonna be so non-current in the current meta compared to Pepe and Cosmo. It's like very hard for these decks to actually be capable against them. However, Blue Eyes actually has a decent matchup against Cosmo, since they have to waste the Dark Destroyers on your 3000 defense monsters, and they can't really, you have to crash into them, they can't really run over them, unless they're using Honest or Azure-Eyes, which is main way, or if they get lucky and top deck Regeki, which is one of the ways they usually get over me. Regeki's so cool to this deck. But without further ado, I'll go into the deck. So, triple Blue Eyes YGoPro, using the original art over all the other arts, because the original is always going to be the best. Second best is evolution art from that other start deck. But this is my favourite art, and we still need this card at 3, because it is the cornerstone of the deck, because Whitestone searches it out. That can summon out the Blue Eyes from the hand, so it's probably going to be summoning out the Blue Eyes there. Maiden needs Blue Eyes White Dragon to be summoned, and it's also a normal monster, so it goes for your Azure-Eyes plays, and basically that's basically why we use Blue Eyes. Plus it's also a target for Melody. So we have to use it because of the Maiden, because Maiden is still the best support that this deck has had, to be honest. Then we go on to triple alternative White Dragon, or as I sometimes call it alternative Rock Dragon, because alternative really is not the best name you could give it for it. You could have called it like Blue Eyes Cyber White Dragon, or Blue Eyes Evolution Dragon, something that works better than alternative. It's a bit mouthful. Alternative Ultimate Dragon could be an awesome way to go with the final form, hopefully, but it's unlikely. So alternative Dragon is it's problematic. It has a restriction of being summoned from your hand by revealing a Blue Eyes Red Dragon first, so you can't reborn it from the graveyard, say by duplicate with Dragon Shrine or something like that. You have to first use your Blue Eyes, but when it gets to the graveyard, it can then be reborn by all the other Blue Eyes reborners except from Soul's Crisis. It's an effect monster. It does have the other nicer effect that it's a Blue Eyes whilst on the field and in the graveyard, so it is a target for Maiden, but you still need to run the other Blue Eyes even though you have this target, because you need to get it on the board. It has also got the effect of once per turn you can target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. You can't attack the turn it uses that effect, so it's alright, but if it had been said banish it instead of destroy it, it would have been so much better for the current meta. So yeah, you have to take it with a pinch of salt, but it's still a good card to have in 3 in the deck, because you're using the trading engine, since that's the best engine for the deck. If these had been dragons, then cards of consonants would have been the best engine, but unfortunately no. They made that very clearly not going to be with spellcasters instead of dragons. Then we have 2 White Spirit Dragon. Originally I was playing this at 3, but it turned out to be too cloggy at 3, so I bumped it down to 2. And yeah, it works a lot better at 2. It is basically an MST as well as a null monster. Even though it doesn't look like it, it's not even a Gemini, because I think they're abandoned Geminis at this point in the game, like Union and Level monsters. But yeah, it's treating it as a normal monster while in the hand and the graveyard, which is quite good, because then you can reborn it with Soul's Cry, or you can, well, if you had any normal cards in your hand, you could have done something with that, something that manipulates normal monsters in your hand. You could do stuff with that, but mainly in the graveyard, because it also gives you plus with Keeper of the Dragon Shrine, so that's quite good. And its main effect that you absolutely adore is that it targets one spell trap on the field when it's normal special summoned and banishes it. It doesn't destroy it, it banishes it, which can get over problematic cards like Cosmo Town. So that's absolutely brilliant, and this is what they really needed done for Alternative Dragon. It also has the other effect of tagging out when your opponent has a monster into a Blue-Eyes from your hand, tributing as a cost so they can't Veiler it, which is also nice if you want to go into a 3k beat stick, because your 2/5 beat stick is not getting over it. Or if you're going to be targeted by a card effect, you can tag out into the actual Blue-Eyes White Dragon, which is also very good. And it's not affected by lose one turn because it's a normal monster, which is also very good as well. Then we have one Keeper of the Shrine. Keeper of the Shrine is a nice one-off. It's going to be cloggy if you use any more of it. It can be used as 2 tributes for a dragon type, but it's not going to be used that much for that effect. Once it's on the board, if it's gone through a defensive stance, it could be good for Blue-Eyes summonings, which is nice, but that's about it in that sense. The main effect you're going to be using is when this is in your hand or your graveyard, if a face-up dragon type monster is sent from the field to the graveyard because it was sent back there by a card effect, or being destroyed by battle, you can special summon the Keeper of the Shrine, and then if it was a normal monster, add one of those normal monsters from the graveyard to your hand. Well, in dragon type normal monsters, so you can add White Spirit or your Blue-Eyes back to your hand if that's how they went there to summon the Keeper of the Shrine. So that's quite good there as well. It's also an extra target for Dragon Shrine and Dark Matter Dragon, so that's good. Then 2 Guard with the Eyes of Blue. It's an alright card. Good because it does a good combo with Maiden because it can tag out Maiden to summon out a Blue-Eyes from your hand, and Maiden will special summon a Blue-Eyes from your deck, and then you can sync into Blue-Eyes Spirit or Azure-Eyes and have a nice 3k beat stick still on board, which is nice. It can also tag in with White Spirit and then do a similar principle, but you only have a level 9 at the end of it and a Blue-Eyes in hand, which is also nice. Then we have 2 White Stone of Legend, originally at 3, bumped down to 2 because we have so much search options now in the deck. It doesn't need to be a 3 in the deck, so when it's there, it's quite good, but we have other ways of getting the Blue-Eyes out of the deck. And it's a Mantra effect, so that's nice as well. And level 1 tuner, so it works good with the Guard and Sage, and etc, etc. Then Sage Knight with the Eyes of Blue is actually one of the best supports that this Shining Beatrice is going to give us for Blue-Eyes, because Sage Knight has 2 good effects. Its first effect, when it's normal summoned, add 1 level 1 light tuner from your deck to your hand. So you can add your Maiden, or your Guard, or your White Stone, or even any other light tuners that you may want to use in the deck. So that's nice. And its second effect is when you can discard this card to target 1 effect monster you control, send it to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon Blue-Eyes from your deck. It doesn't have to be Blue-Eyes White Dragon, so you can summon out the White Spirit Dragon, because it's always treated as a Blue-Eyes card. So that's very good indeed. And that combos very well with Maiden, because you can normal summon Maiden, discard Sage Knight to target Maiden, Maiden summons out Blue-Eyes, and then Maiden herself gets switched out for a White Spirit and go for your Aegeon play or Dark Matter play, which being the best stances that you can go for on your turn 1. So those 2 combo very well. And on to Maiden. I was about to skip her then. But Maiden is still one of the best supports Blue-Eyes has, because it's a great defense. It's lost some of its vitality in the current meta, because there are cards that don't target it now, like Ignis the Prominence, and that new Cosmojo card. And it also has problems with the fact that Rigeki is back, and Dark Hole is at 2, so you can get over Maiden through those means, which is a problem, but she's still a good defense for turn 1. When she is targeted for an attack, she can negate the attack, switch to defense, and then switch her battle position, and then special summon a Blue-Eyes from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So you can also reborn the alternative White Dragon if it's in your graveyard and being successfully special summoned. So you can do that as well, which is nice. And during your player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets its face-up card, except during damage step, special summon a Blue-Eyes from your deck to your hand. Hand or graveyard, which is also good. So 2 nice effects, quick effects, and yeah, it's still a really good card for the deck. And now we have onto the spells. 1 for 1, because there's so many level 1s in the deck. I think there's 10 level 1s in the deck, so 1 for 1 is definitely needed. Mainly you'll be summoning out either Guard to combo with a Maiden, summoning out Maiden as a defensive stance, or summoning out the White Stone to do combo with guard. You wouldn't summon out Sage Knight though. You don't need that Sage Knight to be summoned out. Then 1 Regeki, because it's Regeki, everyone uses it. 3 Trade-in. Originally I had 9 targets, but now I have 8. Still works very well, and still gives a lot of support. One of the best engines you can use for the deck. Then we have 2 Dragon Shrine to dump White Stone of Legend to the graveyard, then dump White Spirit to the Dragon first, and then White Stone, then search Blue-Eyes, which is one of the best ones to deck mill, well, basically deck mill 3 cards out of that deck. So 2 mills of 1 ad, quite good, and it's always been used in a lot of Dragon decks, so why wouldn't it be used here? And then we have 2 Melody of the Awakening Dragon, a super from Clash of Rebellions or Cross Souls. I think it's more Cross Souls, to be honest. Discard 1 card, add 2 Dragon types that are 3000 attack or more, and 2500 defense or less from your deck to your hand. So you can add 2 Blue-Eyes, or 1 of each, or 2 of these. I usually go for 2 alternatives because I don't run Priestess. Priestess is a jump promo, and really doesn't have a good effect to really utilize in this kind of deck. Whereas something like Melody is more utilizable, but originally I was disheartened by this card because it said discard 1 card and I didn't like discarding. But it works quite well in the deck nonetheless, and it's now definitely a 2 card in my deck. Then 1 Soul Charge because I like to reborn my options and go into plays like that. And then we have 2 Upstarts to increase consistency with the Trade-in engine we already have. 2 Twin Twister to either abuse White Stone by discarding it, gain some decent plus from discarding a White Spirit or a Dragon Keeper Shrine, and then it's just really good for Perform Mage matches, because Perform Mage use so many pendulums. And it's so little time. Just a really good key Twin Twister will nullify the deck, hopefully. Then we have Triple Silver's Cry, which is monster reborn for the deck, reborning any Dragon type null monster from your graveyard, and it's quick play, so it's absolutely brilliant for this deck. Should have been an Ultra in the actual structure deck it came out in, but they put it as a common, which is weird. But you really should have had it as an Ultra as well. So yeah, onto the trap lineup. It's basically 3 Solemn Notice and 1 Solemn Warning. This deck is still problematic. It still has consistency issues, so we need some defense. Solemn Notice and Solemn Warning is the best defense it can technically have at this moment in time. So yeah, three of those and 1 of those. I don't use it that much because it's not very fun to film winning with Solemn Notice, but at times you really do need it. And onto the extra deck, I run 2 Magic Sea Castle Aegon. This has been bumped up from its original stance when I first started playing the deck, because it was at 1. Now it's at 2 because 1 can get overrun, but the second is more or less going to be a really big fall on their side. So any of you guys who haven't watched my channel before, have never seen Magical Sea Castle in action, during either player's turn, you can banish 1 random face-down monster in your opponent's extra deck. And if you do, this card's attack becomes that banished monster's attack until the next time you use that effect, which is absolutely brilliant. If this had been rank 4, this would have been a broken card, but it is rank 8, so it is balanced in that sense. So it can start to slowly deck destroy your opponent, which is brilliant, really needed in this current meta, except for the Monarch and Cosmo matches. You'd go for that meta over that, but Aegon is very good for like Pepe matches because it's going to start destroying their extra deck, or at least lower their morale. It's going to be really painful against fun decks that use extra deck like Raid Raptors, because there's going to be a 3 in 15 chance you're going to hit their False Tricks, and when they do have the False Tricks out, you're going to return one of those banished Exceed, Synchro, or Fusion monsters to their extra deck to destroy that monster. Not on summon, you'll be able to chain it. It's a quick effect, so it doesn't work against Ragnar Zero, but it does work against Castellan and False Tricks and any of those cards that are slower. So very good. Aegon, very good in that indeed, and you don't have to detach for its first effect, which means you can just like reborn it with Soul Charge and get some nice plus, even though it doesn't have its effect. Then 262 to go with 2 Full Armored and 1 Dark Matter. I have had a chance where I've had a chance to go to 2 Dark Matters, but I'd probably go into Dark Matter and Aegon over that, to be honest. But it's still a very good card. That primes are usually just used for the full armored. Full armored has the effect to detach 1 material and target 1 face-up card on your opponent controls and destroy it, so good against pendulums. And Dark Matter has the effect when it's Exceed summoned. You can send 3 dragon types with different names from your deck to the graveyard to banish and to force your opponent to banish 3 monsters from their deck, which is very good. And at the time, this is the reason why Dragon Rules were banned, because Dark Matter Rulers deck was going to be such a threat at that point. I feel like the Dragon Rulers can technically come back at this point, but it could mean Cosmo could become like some weird hybrid of the two, and that would be horrible. Yeah, we wouldn't want that. But Dark Matter is still good in this deck. You can send like your Keeper, a White Stone, and a White Spirit, and get a Blue-Eyes White, and that's 4 cards out of that deck, and 3 banished from theirs, which is always good, and it's 4,000 beat stick as well, so very good there. And then on Synchro's options, we've got 1 Black Rose Moonlight, which I'm not 100% sure keeping in the deck, but it can be summoned out with Blue-Eyes Spirit Dragon, since its tag out ability only says white. It only says light dragon type synchro monsters. So yeah, it can summon out this, and this is the best option technically for light dragon synchros. Then Cloud Castle, to reborn your used up Blue-Eyes Spirit from the graveyard. It can't tag out, but it can use its Soul Drain like effect, which is always nice. And it's also a pseudo floodgate, because it stops level 8 or lower monsters from attacking on the turn they are normal special summoned, which is good. Then we have 2 Blue-Eyes Spirit Dragon, which has a Soul Drain effect. That's either player's turn. It also has the effect to stop pendulum summoning, because Neo player can special summon 2 or more monsters at the same time, which is very good. If they made this deck a little bit more consistent, it could actually face off against Pepe. But right now, it's not really got that consistency to do so. And its other effect during your player's turn, tag it out, special summon out a light dragon type synchro monster like Azure-Eyes or Moonlight, and it's destroyed during the end phase. And Azure-Eyes will be able to protect itself, because when it's special summoned, dragon type monsters you currently control cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects until the end of the next turn. So definite protection against Blue-Eyes Spirit Dragon's killing effect. So then you can have Azure-Eyes Silver Dragon from FX monster and a level 1 tuner. So that's very good. And we all know Azure-Eyes Silver Dragon's effects. That is during your standby phase, special summon a normal monster from your graveyard, which is good. Very good. You can start to go into plays with Aegon, or just beat down with 3,000 beat sticks, or summon out an entity that vanishes, which is always good. And then on to the final 2, which is 2 Blue-Eyes to Immerse Dragon. Still, it's a great card. It's a little bit hard to bring out, and because of the restrictions being 2 Blue-Eyes White Dragons, and the fact that it's not really got any protection from card effects is going to really hinder the card. But let's go through it anyway. Must be fusion summoned or special summoned by sending the above cards you control to the graveyard. Doesn't have to be in combat special summoned by other ways. So you can polymerization in this deck, but you really don't need to. You can distribute your monsters, just send your monsters to the graveyard. It can't destroy a battle, which is a very good card. You can take on Beals head on and not worry. Its second effect, it can attack 2 monsters during each battle phase, which is like Dark Matter, but its final effect is the best. At the end of the damage step, when this card attacks an opponent's monster, you can banish your opponent's monster if it's still on the board. So that's very good. It can get over Beals, it can get over monsters that can't be destroyed by battle, it can get over monsters that are stronger than it. So that's always going to be good, and it's a good problem-solving card. However, it doesn't have any protection, like can't be targeted or can't be destroyed by card effects, so it is hurt by stuff like Castell. So yeah, this is the deck currently, and it's a quite fun deck. I do enjoy playing this deck, especially since Aegon is so easy to bring out in this deck. But it does have consistency issues, and it will need its further support that comes out in Shiny Victories. And so far, it looks like it's one of the best legacy supports they've given us, except from Red Eyes. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. Please give it a like if you did and want to see further deck profiles like that. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this and want to see further content. And please leave your comments below if you got suggestions for the deck or suggestions for my channel in general. The deck will be updated when the new support comes out. Well, is leaked, I should say. Or, yeah, well, leaked or shown, I should say. And yeah, thank you for watching. Matarant signing out.